Actually, our own Representative Perucci has brought a bill that is talking about U.T.A. and transit in the area. We need to have a plan in place right now because we have preserved corridors in the city for it. So we've been trying to plan for that. But again, this is going to be in flux. This is still being negotiated right now with our partners, with U.T.A., with our neighboring cities. We're just keeping an eye on it, and this is going to be critical because now we're hearing, even outside the county, that other cities are feeling the same. So we'll see where this bill goes from there. It could be interesting.
Welcome to Herrimanology,
the official podcast to keep up with Herriman City.
We'll take you inside the city, explore the latest news and updates, show you how your government operates, and discuss the issues that affect us all. Now, here are your hosts talking all things Herriman on Herrimanology.
All right, welcome to Herrimanology. It is Thursday, February 8th. And we have a lot to go over, so we're just going to get right to it here.
Let's do it.
I'm John LaFollette, Communications Manager for Herriman City, alongside, as usual, Mayor Palmer.
Good to be here.
Good to have you. Let's talk about last night's Planning Commission meeting. There are a couple of items that at least we think would be interesting to the public. One of them was a pickleball facility over by Porter Rockwell. What's going in there?
Right. So our second indoor pickleball facility coming, and they're coming at, like you said, at the end of Porter Rockwell. I think they said 6 indoor courts out there.
All right.
And then added to the others already coming. And I know the question's going to be, was the city going to build courts? So these aren't our answer to pickleball courts. It's great. We're happy. We're thrilled, but there's still others coming. But we're excited to have a second indoor facility announced. This one will happen pretty quick, I think, because it's an existing facility that'll just be transformed into a pickleball facility. So.
Yeah. And 2 indoor facilities on kind of opposite ends of the city, too, which helps serve a lot of people.
Yep, absolutely. 2 great amenities.
And the other item was a recommendation ultimately to the city council for the an annexation policy update. It sounds like a lot. It kind of really isn't, but let's talk about what that means.
A lot of things that could happen is really what it comes down to. So really, every city is required by code to have an annexation policy or an annexation declaration. And so this was just updating the areas next to our city that we would entertain possibly annexing into our community if we were approached. So the city doesn't ever go out and recruit annexations. It's if anybody were to ever approach us, and these are the areas we would be open to annexation. So that was just updating that with some changes that have happened around our borders.
Let's move on to the legislative session week. I've lost track of how many
we're
weeks
halfway there. Halfway there was yesterday. So
but who's counting?
Yes, not me.
What's happened this week, or at least since the last time we talked about it?
Boy, this week for us, a couple of hot button issues, but the real big one for us has been actually our own Representative Perucci has brought a bill that is talking about U.T.A. and transit in the area. There's been kind of a feeling that we pay some taxes into that system and we're not getting the comparable service.
Sure.
So that's just kind of the discussion right now. I think right now we're looking at 3 different options. One is an immediate solution. We need something now, whether it be, even if it's a bus line right now. We don't feel that VIA is the answer out here. VIA was it was a good Band-Aid for a little while, we think, but we don't think it's the solution right now. So we're talking hopefully a bus loop that might loop into the end of the tracks, the red line and Daybreak. So we're talking possibly that, hitting a few main stops through the city first. That could be the short-term answer. And then their medium solutions could be other planning that's happening. And long-term, really we're open to possibly extending tracks line. Maybe it's some bus rapid transit lines. We need to have a plan in place right now because we have preserved corridors in the city for it. So we've been trying to plan for that. We know we built the density for that to do that. So this will help create ridership, kind of create hopefully some new habits and give our residents some options. But again, this is going to be in flux. This is still being negotiated right now with our partners, with U.T.A., with our neighboring cities. So really, we're just keeping an eye on it, and this is going to be critical because now we're hearing, even outside the county, that other cities are feeling the same. So we'll see where this bill goes from there. It could be interesting.
Yeah, and that's not something that the city can force. We've, as a city, preserved, as you said, corridors at places where we hope it'll go, whatever it happens to be.
Right.
But that's not something we can force. We can work with them. We can collaborate. We can ask. But that's not something that we can force.
And I think that's the important part is we're partners. We're supposed to be partners with a U.T.A. So that's what they are coming to the table now and saying there's routes we can look at. What are some of they want us to know what we're looking at what would be good for our city. So we'll see. It's an interesting concept right now, so we'll just keep an eye on it.
There is some chatter online about whether Herriman's going to have a spring cleanup. And the short answer is yes, that is in the plans. We don't have a day yet. We don't have details yet. But that's something that's been popular before. I think we skipped one at some point because of budget constraints.
Right.
But that is something.
That'll be back this spring with a date to be determined.
Yep. So stay tuned on all of our platforms on that. That will be happening.
Yep.
We had a question. We can call this our No Dumb Questions for the week.
Let's do it.
A Blackridge Reservoir comment on an episode we did with Councilmember Orrin talking about some of the changes that are coming up with Blackridge. So you can go back and listen to that if you want full details. This question was specifically about the City Council's proposed vehicle parking fee at Blackridge, about $15 for a day to park at Blackridge.
Right.
And the question was, would paid parking at Blackridge Reservoir actually limit crowds during the summer? I live near Blackridge and think this might actually encourage more illegal on-street parking, of course, outside the parking lot in the neighborhoods. People will find ways to park anywhere to avoid paying. And we think that's probably true. So what are some of the measures that are happening to maybe mitigate some of those things that I think we agree on what's going to be anticipated?
Absolutely. That's a question we brought up even as a council, is that, so even if we do force that, is it going to force more people onto the street? So some of the actions we've taken on that is we are expanding the parking permit area. So more of those streets will have that parking permit. For the residents that live there, the fee will be gone for the parking permit. They'll be able to get a permit, no charge. And then to hopefully, we needed it to be a deterrent. Our parking fine in the past has only been $25. So especially if we're going to charge $15 in the parking lot and at $25 out, there's not much of a deterrent. That's basically the day pass to be there now. So we've actually increased that. We're looking to increase that.
All things that are being considered.
Being considered. That'll go through a public hearing and everything. But we're hoping to increase that parking fee, or the parking fine, I guess, outside in that area. I guess it would be throughout the city, but targeting that area specifically to say, it's got to be more of a deterrent. So we're looking $100, $100, maybe max up to $200. But we want it to be more of a deterrent with more enforcement, because that's definitely not what we want to happen. So, and again, this can be revisited every year. I think we revisit this every year, but we just need to do something to try to get the crowds down. It's a great amenity, but it's just getting too busy, so we have to do something. So we're going to try. We're going to keep it in mind. We're going to keep an eye on it and try to pivot as we can, as quickly as we can, if something that comes up.
And to be clear, too, there are two fees or fines kind of being talked about here. One is in the Blackridge Reservoir parking lot itself.
Right.
That will be the $15 day pass. Anywhere that anybody illegally parks, but especially in that surrounding neighborhoods where permits are required to park on the street, that's where we're talking about the illegal parking fine of about $100 standard.
Yep, and we have anticipated in our budget, looking at this, enforcement on the weekends. First year especially, there'll have to be some enforcement to know that we're serious about this up there.
Yeah. So if you live up there, you'll have a letter coming within a few days. We'll be publishing a web page on the Herriman.org website to explain everything that's being proposed that impacts everybody to some extent. So stay tuned for that. That'll be up just a few days, and we'll go through this process in the next several weeks at City Council public hearings and see how it goes.
Yeah, we want feedback, so please bring it. Yep.
Tomorrow, no, not tomorrow. Today's Thursday. Saturday. I wish it was Friday. It's not. Saturday, Miss Herriman is having the daddy-daughter dance.
Right.
What's going on with that?
So this is a fundraiser for our royalty. So it's a daddy-daughter thing. Come out. I think it's $20 for a couple. Then you can bring an extra daughter or extra guest for $5. But bring your daughters out. Come out. This is a fun time. They have dessert. They have princesses. It's a lot of roses. It's a great event. So if I don't have daughters, I wish I had a daughter for this event every year. But come on out Saturday night, 7:00 when it starts, but 6:30 is when the check-in starts. So registration beforehand, though. They're trying to get a count. So go onto the Miss Herriman Facebook page or Instagram page and get them, sign up now, and then let's get a big crowd out Saturday night.
Prediction for the Super Bowl?
Oh man, I love it though. I'm gonna go Chiefs. I want to see Mahomes get another Super Bowl, My son is suddenly all about the Chiefs. He doesn't know
Nice.
this yet. He's got a Chiefs jersey coming today.
Oh.
So he's ready. So he was a
Spoiler.
Giants fan until 2 weeks ago, and now he likes the Giants and the Chiefs equally right now. So
Okay.
But we're a divided household because I'm probably all in on the Chiefs. My wife's born and raised a Niners fan. So we'll see. It's going to be a fun weekend. So
I don't go against Patrick Mahomes, and I regret every time I go against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. So I think we'll see some offensive sparks fly, if you will.
just hope it's a good game. Listen, I want it to be a close game with the right team winning at the end.
That's all for Herrimanology. Thanks for watching and listening. Again, if you have any comments, there are no dumb questions. We'll address anything you have, any feedback you have on any comment section that you're listening to this. There are a lot of platforms between Facebook and YouTube and SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Google, whatever. There are a lot of places to listen to this. Leave a comment, leave some feedback, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching.